Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where it has been a while. We have not played Europa Universalis for what, at least a year? It's been quite a long time. This might be the first series some of you are seeing on this channel of Europa. But here we are, and we have the new Immersion Pack, Origins. And that is focusing on adding a bunch of new things, specifically to the African region. I mean, you guys know me. I love playing in Africa. It's one of my favorite locations to play in any grand strategy game. Not just Europa, any grand strategy game. Now, this is my first time recording Europa in 4K. We definitely haven't played it since then. Let me know about the UI scale. I currently have it at 2x. Let me know if it's a little big or if it's just about right. But for now, let's hop into the single player naturally. Oh. Yep. This is still on the import of Ethiopia through the ages. Okay, that just goes to show how long it's been. Honestly, I should probably restart the video. But I kind of want to leave that in all honesty. I'm going to turn off the mods there. There we go. Excellent. And let's try this one again. Like I said, I kind of just want to leave that as is. I guess while we're waiting for it to load up, we can go through a little bit of what they've added. They've added in the expansion, not in the free patch. This is the expansion only. They've added some expansions to the Jewish religion. They've added missions for Mali, Songhai, Congo, Ethiopia, Ajuran, Kilwa, and Mutapa. And they've also added some minor mission additions to Jolof, Masi, Hausa, Oyo, and Adal. Now, I'm quite familiar with all of those nations. We've also got some new regional mission trees for minor powers in Central, East, and West Africa and the African Horn, as well as new estate privileges for many nations and regions. We've also got some new army graphics and some missionary models and some new music as well. So that is all well and good. And here we are back in, and this is looking more normal. Man, it's been a while since I've seen Europa. Every time I come into Europa from Crusader Kings, I'm always just like, wow, this is so different. It looks... It just fundamentally looks different. Wildly different. It's easy to get used to. But it's insane. So you can definitely see here we are running the Origins pack. So that is great. We've also got all the other packs installed. So that is fine. Who do we want to play as? I'm kind of leaning towards either Songhai or Mali. Now, I think that Mali will have issues with Europe faster than Songhai will. So maybe for that purpose only, we should do Songhai. Now, we already did Air in Crusader Kings 3. We could consider this kind of a pseudo-sequel. Or I could completely change where we're looking at doing this. We've played in this region a lot. We've played in this region quite a bit as well, although not necessarily in Europa. Maybe we should go down and do like Kilwa or Mutapa. Honestly, I used to play as Mutapa before I started playing on the channel a decent amount, and I really like playing as Mutapa. It's really solid. You have some early gold mines, particularly once you take Batua, and you can move up over this way, take all of this territory. I also enjoyed playing up in this region a fair amount, but that's not something that has the full-on new mission systems. Mutapa was explicitly mentioned in the notes, so I think we're going to go for that. It also has this nice dingy brown color, which is very appropriate for me. It's glorious. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that. And we don't actually care about any of this. Let's go ahead and play this. We're starting in 1444, naturally, and we're probably going directly to the end game. I don't think we're aiming for any world conquest or anything like that. We're just going to 1821 and seeing how it goes. We are going to be playing in normal mode because, of course, we don't want to play in Iron Man mode because that can corrupt our saves. I do want to go into the options here, though, and let's bump this up to hard difficulty. I don't want it on very hard because the AI will start cheating, but we'll just put it on hard. There we go. Terra Incognita in lobby, no, that doesn't matter. I want to check, yes, we definitely want to color owned wastelands because I hate that when there's those big old gaps there. Fantasy Random New World is set to rare. I doubt we're going to have too much focus on the New World. So let's actually just turn that to never. If we were going to do a New World focus, a Fantasy Random New World might be an interesting one to do. But otherwise, I think that's all good. We'll leave that just at default, and we're not going to be doing any custom nations. So that all looks good. Let's accept that, and let's go ahead and play this. It has been a very long time. I need to try to remember how to play Europa. I'm sure I'll remember, but let's do this. The African continent is huge and diverse. West Africa is home to a number of rising kingdoms, such as Songhai or Bornu, as well as waning states, such as the Mali Empire. Why did I mess up on this side twice? Oh boy. The Maghreb is going through a general crisis of deurbanization, foreign invasions, and famine, while Egypt is firmly under the rule of the Mamluk households. In the east, Ethiopia is dominating the Horn of Africa, and maritime sultanate of Kilwa is desperately trying to control the Swahili sultanates on the coast. They're going to be our primary threat over here, Kilwa is. At least until Europe shows up. By the Great Lakes, the Intralacustrine, oh my, Intralacustrine I'm going to go with. I did not expect to run into that. I apologize. The Intralacustrine kingdoms fight over the spoils of the Katara Empire, while the Mutapa, hey, that's us, and Marawi kingdoms try to assert their authority over the Zambezi. We're fetishist, and that gives us +2 to tolerance of heathens and +1 diplomatic relations. Not too bad. We can also select a cult with its own bonuses and events. New cults can be unlocked through interacting with countries of foreign religions or other fetishist countries that have adopted cults that you lack. Fetishism is native to Africa, and all fetishist provinces can be found on the African continent. For now. Your government is augmented by the estates of the realm. These can differ from country to country, but represent strong interest groups within your country that can give you powerful benefits if they're loyal and influential. I think we'll go through all this. I would often skip the government and environment parts here, but it's been a long time since we played Europa. I think I could use a refresher, and I know that there are some people watching that have not played Europa before, so I think that it's not necessarily a terrible idea. An estate might also be a great hindrance if it's too disloyal or too influential, however. Their influence and loyalty can be increased through choices in events, as well as distributing a greater share of your crown land to them. All governments use government reforms. These governments gradually add distinctive bonuses to a government over the course of a game. Reforms are unlocked by the accumulation of reform progress points, which are passively gained at a rate determined by the average autonomy level of your provinces. Right. Africa starts out in relative isolation from the rest of the world. This is not something that will last forever. In time, European colonialists will appear, and you may find yourself overwhelmed by their superior technology, unless you have sufficiently prepared for it. Yes, this is very true. Okay, so we start with Batua over here as our vassal. That is fantastic. I'm very, very glad to see that. This is definitely different than it used to be over here. There's no doubt about that. These guys do have gold. I would like to see about integrating them. But let's see here. Annex vassal cannot be done before 1 January 1450. Fair enough. So our first step really should be to seize these locations over here, because Kilwa is coming, and they are mad at us. They are very, very mad indeed. These great projects, huh? These are new from when last I played. Interesting. Our monument has surpassed insignificant. It is currently noteworthy. So that just gives us technology cost is solid, and cost to fabricate claims isn't awful either. Okay, so we have too few rivals. We obviously want to rival Kilwa. There we go. We don't need to rival another one. So that's fantastic. We do have low crownland right now. We have the clergy, the nobility, and the merchant guilds. We can give them privileges if we like. Governing capacity wouldn't be awful to take in here, of course. That leads what? To overextension or reduces overextension? I don't quite remember. It's been a long time. We're at 8 of 11 land force limit, so we can definitely increase that. We do have 2 cavalry units, so we've got our flank units there. Let's go ahead and bump up to 8 units of African clubmen. That'll be fantastic. We can introduce a vision quest, which will, of course, give us some yearly prestige. I'm okay with that. We're going to do exactly that. We have free advisor slots. We likely can't afford advisors right now. Actually, we can afford a level 1 advisor. We can actually afford 3 level 1 advisors. That's not bad. I think national tax modifier, it's not going to pay for itself. We may actually want the yearly prestige. That said, I don't necessarily care that much about our prestige. We are gaining prestige annually currently. I think this guy will offset the cost, and he will generate us that +1 admin power per month. So we'll go ahead and go for that. And now, we can't afford to hire all of these immediately, but we can afford to hire her. Spy network construction is fine. Diplomatic reputation, I think, isn't important right now. We'll go for the spy network construction. We can't afford to hire our 3rd advisor until next month. That's okay. We definitely do have low crownland here, and let's just take a look at what we've got going on with that. Where did they move the estate view to? That has definitely been moved. Okay, I guess we can go into our estates here. Yeah, we don't really want to do any of this just yet. Where do we poke our estates at again? Let's see. Yeah, that sells to the estates. We'll summon the Diet to see the agenda, and we'll seize estate land for the crown. That's fine. Did they change this system so that you no longer hand out provinces? They may have. If so, that is substantially different. Uh-huh. This is indeed substantially different. Okay. Well, it's certainly been a while. There's no doubt about that. It'll take some time to get reacclimated. Okay, what do we have up here? We've got our diplomat. We do have a mercenary. We have a missionary. However, I believe all of this is fetishist and is fine. The Sunni over here, we're unlikely to be able to convert anytime soon. Let's see. Lundu is a vassal of Meravi. Makua is an obvious target here. We could get an alliance with them. We may even be able to vassalize them fairly easily. Maybe. But I think that we're probably better off getting ourselves a claim here. So we're going to start working on that. I would also like to improve relations with Batua. And maybe even Tumbuka. They might be a really good target for us to vassalize diplomatically. For now, we're just going to improve relations with them, and we'll call that good. I do want to move these guys over towards Senna, and we will do exactly that. We'll get them in position there just as soon as they can. Makua wants to offer us an alliance. We will decline that for the time being, because we actually want to invade them. Oh, we're on speed 1. It would help if we went to speed 3. Fantastic. How much manpower are we gaining per month? We are gaining 121. That's not bad. We have a humiliate rival CB against Kilwa that we are not currently interested in. Okay. Researchers have published several works with radical theses that could prove destabilizing if widely disseminated. Should we opt for the easy path of obscurantism and suppress this knowledge, or would it be better not to stand in the way of progress? We are... I think we don't care about that unrest right now. Batua is offering us a royal marriage. That is our vassal over here. We accept that. Nuru is our new queen. Okay. And we're going to move on into Senna. Wonderful. Our heir is now an architectural visionary. That's always good. And we are going to go ahead and begin drilling here. If I can remember where the drill button is. Unless they've changed that. It's definitely been a while. That's attaching. Is drilling no longer a thing? Surely it's still a thing. Yeah, that's their army drill there. So that's their morale, that's their army drill, and... Oh yeah, that's right. We need to have a leader here. There we go. For now, we'll just put in our ruler there, and... Oh, you require Miltech 3 now. Actually, I think you required that before as well. We're a ways away from that, shall we say. We haven't embraced feudalism, and that is something that we should probably think about doing if we go into our missions here. Let's see, we can handle the Torwa because we want Batua to not exist. So we need to annex these guys. We need stability of at least one, a temple or a cathedral in 5 locations. We are going to build those. And we need to follow Muari and embrace a singular cult. Okay. The event Regression of Zimbabwe needs to fire. Sure. 3 provinces producing gold. And we need our nobility to either be 65% loyal or higher, or we need to not have the nobility estate. Okay. Well, let's see here. All states will gain 10 loyalty. I mean, our crown land is already low. I think we don't... It's this crownland system now, and we don't grant out territory the way we used to. I'm fairly certain of that. Yeah, the nobility controls a lot of our land right now. We should be working on seizing it back, if at all possible. But right now, that's not exactly possible. We should definitely get our military advisor here. Reinforce speed or land maintenance modifier. Normally, I'd go for a manpower modifier for sure, but that's a level 2, and we will go for the land maintenance modifier. Excellent. How are we doing over here? We will be able to fabricate our claim once it's size 18. It is currently at size 4.28. Okay. So that'll take some time. We are working on gaining gold here. Now, how many gold provinces do we have right now? Our capital is 1. And Mutapa is 1 as well. Okay. With a base production of 2, there is a 0.01 chance of the mine depleting. Yeah, that's fine. So, I mean, we can build buildings in all of these, but we don't really have the cash for it right now. Makua wants a royal marriage offer. We decline. We want to push up over this way, take their territory. These guys should move on in over here. Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. And as far as our trade situation goes, I don't think there's too much to do here, really. I mean... What are we going to do? Just collect here. It's what we already are doing. So that's fine. There's the Regression of Zimbabwe event. Zimbabwe was once the great capital of the Zimbabwe Empire, which broke apart due to civil war centuries ago. Ever since, the city serves us as our marvelous capital, with its many stone houses. But its days are numbered. The crops, which ensured the sustenance of this great city, have failed. The resources which maintained the city's economy for so long have depleted, and local unrest has driven many residents away, pushing them into the other provinces of Mutapa. These are dark times for Zimbabwe. Okay, so we're going to lose a stability immediately here. That's not great, to be sure. Abandoned ruins in Zimbabwe, And changes the development of the monument. Okay. So that's a scripted thing that was always going to happen. Okay. So Zimbabwe is in decline. Sounds good. We do want to bump up our stability, and realistically that is under religion, I believe. Or, no, it's under stability. We can boost that with admin power. If we do that, we will not be able to grab admin tech 3 anywhere near as quickly. Now, I do want to check our decisions, because we do at some point need to adopt feudalism. And where do we do that again? I forget. Is it a mission? Maybe. Well, we need to boost our stability up for Fate of Zimbabwe. Up to at least 1. Okay. Interesting. We're not going to drop our army maintenance at this time. We do have a small inflation issue, but that's okay for now. I forget where we adopt feudalism at. I have a vague memory. Yeah, that's right. It spreads by institution. That'll take a while. That's right. I forgot about that. It's been so long since I played Europa. It's insane. Absolutely insane. So we'll group those guys together, and we're ready to attack Makua as soon as we have our claim. Needs to be size 20. We're currently at size 12, almost 13. We do need to boost up our stability. And that's going to be 105 for our next stability boost. Okay, good to know. We do have no current cult right now, and we should select one. Now, we have a mission to select Mawari. And honestly, given these options, I would choose Mawari anyway. 2.5% discipline is solid. So we're going to do that, and what does that do for our missions? What else do we need? That's not missions. This is missions. We need our stability to be at least 1. We need to grant an estate privilege, embrace singular cult. Okay, so we can hop over here. That's probably clergy? Yes. That will reduce our absolutism, but that's okay. There we go. We will embrace Mawari as our primary cult. Fantastic. So that means that we could switch our primary cult, but we're not going to do that at this time because we need that here. We now need 5 temples or cathedrals. Okay. So I would like to poke the Merchant Guild if I can figure out how, if that's still a thing. I'm not actually sure that that is a thing. Control over the monetary policy wouldn't be bad, though. 5% production efficiency, yearly inflation reduction, all power costs reduced? I'm going to do it. I like it. As far as the nobility goes, this will give them 20% influence. We probably don't want to give them quite that much influence. I think that we should probably... that's Crownland there. Yeah, we should probably not really do any of these right now. I don't really want to give up additional Crownland. So we'll call that good for now. Now we could sail some titles, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I would like to potentially take a loan. That said, that's not necessarily a great idea either, because this is only 22. And if we want to build in those churches, which we do, we absolutely do want to build in those temples for that sweet, sweet tax modifier. That's 100 each. So that's a lot of gold. There's no doubt about that. We're going to proceed here for now, and we're going to see about attacking Makua. What are they doing as far as they're allied with Tumbuka? That might be good for us, actually. Yeah, I think that's good. Should be completely and totally fine. So we're going to fabricate this in a moment here, and that means that we can annex these and vassalize these guys, and I think that will be the overall goal. Unfortunately, we will need to walk through this territory over here, which means that we should set our colonial policy, which is not currently set because we don't have any colonists, although we should think about getting colonists fairly soon. Where do we set our colonial policy again? I think it is around here somewhere. I've completely forgotten. I know it's in one of these. Stability and expansion. That's our global settler increase. Yeah. You need at least one more colonist before you can choose the native policy. Okay. So it used to allow us to choose this at this point, but it doesn't anymore. Got it. Sounds good. So we are going to fabricate a claim on these guys in one more month tick. So let's just let that finish up. Right about now. We'll fabricate that claim on Lolo. Excellent. And we now have a claim that we can push. We will declare this. Maravi and Tumbuka will both come in. Oh, Maravi will come in. That I didn't realize. Allied with Buha. Why will Maravi come in? Ah, independence guaranteed. Yeah, that would be a thing. So the question becomes, do we care about Maravi? Let's check. Possibly. We possibly care. But I think that the answer is likely no. We may want to do this and co-belligerent them. Let's actually do it. This is a huge power move right now. If we co-belligerent these guys, then all these come in. You know what? We're not going to co-belligerent them. Or at least not all of them. Maybe we co-belligerent Tumbuka and not Maravi. Yeah. Let's do it like this. I think that this is solid. Batua would come. We have no diplomats. We'll have to wait for a diplomat to come back. And to that end, we'll need to go in here and stop building our spy network. This guy will arrive back shortly. Any moment now. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to give this a go. This is going to be really, really interesting. You can see here, they potentially outnumber us pretty dramatically, but I think, given our leadership advantage, that we can pull this off. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.